So if you would please go to your current lesson. Let me show you the two things that we're going to do. And if you have a printer, you can go ahead and print them. And if you don't, then you can just get them on your desktop for me. So we've got this one comparison worksheet that we're going to do some practice sentences. And then the other is this saber and conocer review. So again, if you are able to print those, go ahead and send those to your printer right now, both of them. And if you are not, then go ahead and put them on your desktop or save them on a Google Drive or whatever you do so that you can fill those out with us. Okay, so I'm pausing here for a minute. If you want to print, go print. Otherwise, stick them in your Google folder on notes or whatever you like to do. Okay, again, these are the two things that you need to be putting on your desktop so you can type on or printing off. Okay, numbers 1 and 2. Okay. Giving you a second there. And then I just want to do a little quick review on comparisons together, and then I'm going to give you 5 minutes to try that handout. Okay. So let's talk comparisons. If you want to get out your notes from the last 2 days, feel free to do that. There's nothing new today. I just want to make sure you're getting where you need to be. So first off, we did comparisons of inequality. So we said something was more interesting or more pretty or more quick, right? And that can also be like with an ER on the end of it. So it could be taller or prettier or faster. So what does that look like? If something is more something than something else. Had a lot of cameras off, so make sure I get some blue hands so you get your participation points. What does it look like if something is more something, like more funny or more interesting? What's that little expression gonna look like? Maggie?
It's mas and then the word and then como, I think.
You're real close. It's mas and then the word, it starts with a Q. Does that help?
Oh yeah, K.
Sure is. So mas something K. All right, so now somebody give me the opposite of that. Tell me something is less funny or less fast or less nice or less something. Reginald?
Menos K.
Thank you. So then we had menos, ... K. And then the last thing we talked about, if they were equal, something is as funny as something else, something is as interesting as something else, someone is as kind as someone else. What are those words going to look like? Keegan?
It would be tan como.
Thanks. So we had tan, ... como. Okay, jot those down if you need to. You already have 2 sets of notes on them, but if you need to jot them down, jot them down. All right, and we use these with adjectives or adverbs. And whatever this word was in the middle had to agree with whatever the thing is in front. And that's basically what we said on day 1. Then on day 2, we added in nouns. So now we're going to talk about comparing nouns. So guess what? These 2 stay the same. So no problem there. Okay. If you want to say I have more books than she does, tengo más libros que. Or I have more cookies, más galletas que. All right, but it changes down here. So this tan, if we have nouns, you wouldn't say as cookies as, you need to say as many or as much. So this tan is going to mutate into tan cho or tan cha or tan, anybody with me? Unmute.
Tantos.
Thanks, tantos or tan
Tantas.
Fantastic, thanks. All right, and that's going to be based on whatever you're talking about. As many books, tantos libros. As many, I don't know, pencils, tantos lápices. As many, or actually that would be tantas. As much homework, tanta tarea. So that's what you got to think about. All right, so now I want you to go to that first handout that said comparisons worksheet. And I want to give you a minute to see what you can do. So it looks like this. Maybe we'll do the first one together. How about that? All right, let's do the first one together. Get you started. So you're making a comparison. You have to decide if it's más que, menos que, or tan adjective como. So if Clara, good old Clara, tiene 15 suéteres, and Barbara tiene 5 suéteres, you have to make a comparison. So in your brain, you're thinking, okay, does Clara have more sweaters or less sweaters? So what do you think? Somebody just unmute. I don't even need a hand here. Clara have more or less sweaters than Barbara?
She has more.
She has more. So we're going to use the word más. And then you can rewrite suéteres. Oh, I didn't do that right. Hold on. All right, so she has more sweaters than Barbara. All right, does that make sense? Okay, you want to try the next 3? You see if you can do them, and then we'll check. I give you 2 minutes. Okay, again, I'm not there hovering over you, but if you don't try them now, you're going to be in trouble next week when you have to try them on your midterm. So try them now, see what you can do. And if you're lost, well, at least start it. Okay, I kind of put in yellow up here your options. I'll change the color on that. So confusing. Oops, no, that was not what I wanted to do. I'm just starting them here. I'm gonna need some help in a minute. All right, I don't know. You giving you enough time? Hard to say.
Are we supposed to have only done the first one or all of them?
I mean, maybe the like 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I mean, if you want to look at the bottom, obviously feel free. But I was just hoping you'd done the first 3 or the
Okay,
next.
I got through those.
All right, well, let's try some then. Okay, I'm looking for some hands. I'm looking for some people that haven't gotten a point yet today. I will be giving a participation grade next week. I don't care if you're right or you're wrong. You just got to try, and I'll help you. So make sure you get up your little blue hand. I got a lot of cameras off in here these days. So make sure you get up your blue hand. Otherwise, you're not going to get any points. All right, so Santiago es interesante. Beatriz es interesante también. So it sounds like they're both pretty interesting. Caitlin, you want to do it?
Tan como
So give me the sentence. Santiago es.
interesante, tan como Beatriz es interesante también.
Okay, I'm going to make it a lot simpler than that. So rewrite your sentence here. Let's keep it simple. Santiago is as interesting as Beatriz. All right, so look at what I have. Make sure if you're typing this, make sure you're kind of looking because I am typing it as well so you can see it on your screen. So Santiago is as interesting as, tan interesante como Beatriz. Just keep it simple. All right, so get number 3. You have 3 sisters. Raquel has 4 sisters. So make the comparison. Who's got it? Looking for a hand. Making Keegan rest. I think Maggie already went too. Thanks, though. Nothing personal. Just trying to spread out the love. What do you think? Anyone? Anyone? I feel like Reginald, you went too, didn't you? He's trying. He's trying to help me. Who hasn't gone? Oh my goodness. Somebody tell me you have less sisters than Raquel. Thanks, Ume. What you got?
Menos,
Mm-hmm. And then give me the word sisters.
hermanas, que,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Menos, oops, hermanas. Okay, and then the other girl's name is Raquel. Okay. All right, tell me about Alejo and Ana. They are both so attractive. Tell me one is as attractive as the other one. See number 2 for help if you need to. I'm just gonna start picking because I need to move through this a little faster. Volunteers would help. How about Layla? Layla Collins?
which one?
Number 4.
Um,
Tell me Alejo is as attractive as Anita.
menos,
That would be less.
más,
That would be more. Look at number 2 where they're equal.
oh, sorry.
That's okay. So what's your other choice? If they're as, look, this one says as interesting as, tan interesante como. So now make it as attractive as.
Tan, guapo,
Uh-huh. And then what's your last word? Starts with a C. Tan guapo.
como,
Uh-huh. And then what's the other girl's name?
Anita,
Uh-huh. All right. So I'll reread the sentence. Alejo es tan guapo como Anita. He is as attractive as Anita. All right. So on the bottom, now we're switching. They all have nouns in them. Okay. So that means each one has to use tanto or tanta or tantos or tantas. All right. So let's do at least the first one together. Do the first 2 maybe together. So Juana y yo tenemos mucha tarea. Roberto tiene mucha tarea también. Everybody has a lot of homework. So I want to say we have as much homework as. So you have to look at the word homework, everybody. Look at the word tarea. Decide, is it feminine or masculine, singular or plural? And then make tanto match it. So what's it going to be? Somebody unmute. I'm not even calling on you. What is it?
Is it tantas?
Uh-huh. Tanta, tarea, como Roberto. Okay, I'll highlight it there so you can see it. Make it green like the other one. Okay, so now we have tanta, tarea, como. All right, let's look at number 6. Okay, so Tina y Lola tienen 2 mascotas. They have 2 dogs. Paco also has 2 dogs. So I want you to say they have as many dogs as Paco. So again, look at the word mascotas. Think about if it is singular or masculine, feminine, singular or masculine, singular or plural, feminine or masculine. So what word's going to match that? Anybody, just unmute. I don't need a hand.
Tantas.
Tantas. There it is. Thank you. Mascotas. Como Paco. All right. You try those last 2, and then I will take a volunteer for those. Get yourself a point if you haven't gone yet today. So tell me, Veronica y Alicia have as much money as Jorge. And then at the bottom, we have good old Rodolfo y Miguel have as many sandwiches as Paula. So you take your best guess. Let's see if you get it right. All right, somebody want to try number 7 for me? Número 7. Of course, Kian, sorry. I just saw your question. Sometimes it's hard when I'm screen sharing. I don't always see my chat.
All right.
All right, let's go. Let's see. Tell me number 7. I don't know. How about Carter? And do number 7?
Is it Veronica y Alicia tienen tanto dinero como Jorge?
Sure is. Good job. So tienen tanto dinero como Jorge. They have as much money. He picked tanto because it matches dinero. Perfecto. All right, tell me about some sandwiches. They got as many sandwiches as Paula. I don't know. Arissa?
Yes.
Want to help me out with this one? So last one. They have as many sandwiches as Paula. So how are we going to say as many sandwiches?
TNS or OS.
Yes. Tantos.
Oh, Tontos. And then sandwiches, yeah.
Sandwiches. You got to give it a little accent there.
And then Como,
Uh-huh. And then what's the last girl's name?
Paula.
Good. Tantos sandwiches como Paula. Thanks, Ursa. All righty. Okay, I'm still screen sharing for just a second here. Make sure you got them all down. Hopefully this is starting to come together for you. As I said, tomorrow I won't be here, but one of your practices will be related to some comparisons. Actually, I got some study Spanish for you to work on some comparisons. All right, I'm about to take this down. Does anybody still need it? Tell me now. I will post it under class resources. Anybody still need it? Going once, going twice? Okay. So now I want to shift us. I hate to kind of just peck it on you, but you'll live. You got 15 minutes. I want to talk about saber and conocer. And I've got some notes for you on that. And then I promise nothing new. Then literally tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, we're just reviewing everything, getting ready for your midterm, okay? So saber and conocer. Anybody remember what those mean? I don't know how much time you spent on them last year. You were supposed to spend some time on them, but what do they mean? What do they mean? Saber and conocer. Callie knows. What are they, Callie?
To know.
To know, good. So the deal is in English, you just have one way to say to know, it's to know. But in Spanish, you have two ways. So you have to figure out the difference between them. It's kind of like Sarah and a star, right? In English, they both mean I am, you are, he is, but in Spanish, you use them at different times. So this is the exact same situation. All right, so again, this is that second document under today's lesson. So I asked you to go ahead and print that if you could, or pull it on your desktop. I'm gonna screen share it just to talk about it. And then, let's see. And then we'll go through the bottom there. So you should be looking at it either with me or you've printed it off. Are you there? Are you looking at it? All right, so I'm gonna just run through the difference. And like I said, it's much like Sarah and a star. So you just have to like memorize when to use it, basically, okay? So, saber and conocer both mean to know. Here is why you use saber, Okay, the main thing is to know facts or information, to know how to do something, to know where, when, how much, why, who, or what about something. That's basically a fact. So that leads back to the first one. And then to know something by heart, to memorize something. All right, so I'll give you an example in English. To know a fact, I know the answer. To know how to do something, I know how to speak Spanish. To know, I know how much, I know how many students are in my class. I know where North Central is located. I know when school starts. I know why people go to school. I know who is in my classes, and I know what is going to happen when we start our hybrid. Ish, I kind of know. And then I know that song by heart. I know that poem by heart. I've memorized it. So all of those cases, you're going to use saber. Saber is irregular in the yo form. Okay, so you have yo sé, tú sabes, él sabe, nosotros sabemos, and ellos saben. So this one yo form is just funky. It's not yo sabo. That's not a word. So be careful in the yo form. All right, when do you use conocer? To know someone or be acquainted with someone. So like, I know you. Okay, I know you. I see you most days. I know who you are. I have met you. I am familiar with you. It could also be like, I've heard of someone. Like, I know President Obama, right? I know who he is. Even though I haven't met him personally, I still am familiar with him. I know him. Okay, so to know or be familiar with a person or a place, I know North Central. Okay, I've spent a lot of time here. I know it. I know Indianapolis. I know Florida. I visited there once. So I am familiar with it. Now, here's a little hint. It says, don't forget to use the a after conocer when you know a person. It gives you a little hint, like look at number 1 down here. If I see an a and a person, I know for sure I'm using conocer. So that's like a little hint. All right, as you can see, conocer is also irregular in the yo form. If I didn't put in that Z, it would be conoco. And it's not, it's conocer. I need that soft sound, so I add in the Z and I get conosco. And then it's all regular. Conoces, conoce, conocemos, conoce. All right, so here's a few to try. Here's what I would like you to do real quick. Okay, I would like you to look at that question and quickly either jot down, if you printed it off to the side, a C for conocer or an S for saber. And then if you want to put in the whole word, you can. I will do that. But otherwise, I want you to see if you can just identify, is it saber or conocer? So like, for instance, number 1, my parents know Mr. Brannigan. Okay, they know him. They are familiar with him. He is a person. So I would put a C for conocer by number 1. Okay, or you can just start answering it, right? I guess you could put mis padres, C. Okay, so go through. I want you to take a second to use your big brain. See if you can at least identify whether you're thinking saber or whether you're thinking conocer. And we'll run through the answers together. If you want to go ahead and put the whole verb, you can. Okay, so I'm pausing here for a minute. Put a C for conocer, put an S for saber. Use what's at the top to help you. Okay, think about if it's one of those situations or that situation. Okay, again, please make sure you're trying. Again, I'm not there hovering over you, but if you don't try, then you're not using your brain and you're not going to get it. So make sure you're putting forth a little effort here before I go through the answers. All right, I would expect you are wrapping up your just quick S or C decision. And let's see how many you get right. All right, so kind of wanted to, I don't know, let me do the first couple together and then maybe I'll get some hands. I got to watch my time here. We got about 7 minutes, okay? So mis padres, we already said it's conocer. So I'm gonna go ahead and do number 1 because it's my parents, so it's conocen. Okay, and I will underline that still so you can see it. So my parents know Mr. Brannigan. They are familiar with him. He is a person, and it is in the they form. Also, I have that little ah there that kind of helps me clue in that it's a person. All right, so you know what you thought here. Mi amiga y yo, my friend and I know the Spanish teacher well. Again, there's a little ah there that helps you. Can I get a quick volunteer? I take a volunteer. Volunteer? I don't know. Hannah, are you up from before? Are you up for this? I know Hamza just raised his hand.
Say bear.
Let me see. It is not saber. Okay, because look, you're saying we know the professor, we know the teacher. So this says to know or be familiar with a person. So you're going to choose conocer. What form would it be in, Hannah, if it's we?
Nosotros.
Mm-hmm. So
Uh,
cono.
Conominos.
You're close. Conocemos. Conocemos. All right, number 3, I'll translate it for you, right? I know what the name of my book for English class is. So I know what the name is. What are you thinking for that? I would focus on the key word here is qual, which is one of your question words, just saying. Let's see, JJ, what are you thinking?
Is it saber or say?
Yeah, perfect. Saber and say are both perfect answers. Thank you. Right? Because we're saying, I know what the name is. So if that's a fact, again, you're seeing the question words. So the question words, as soon as you see who, what, when, where, why, okay, boom, saber. All right, how about Ramon knows the poem by heart? What are you thinking? Ramon knows the poem by heart. Looking for a quick hand? Maggie?
Sabe.
Mm-hmm. And you pick sabe because when you know something by heart or you've memorized it, okay, right here, it says to use saber. So you're literally just using this. Every time you got to translate and go back to why you're using it. Okay, how about my cousins know how to speak Spanish? My cousins know how to speak Spanish. Emma?
Saben.
Perfect, saben, because they know how to do something. Okay, so literally you're just memorizing basically these few rules. Okay, how to do something. All right, let's see. Nosotros, we know Las Vegas. We are familiar with Las Vegas. It is magnificent. We love it. Hamza, were you up? Hamza?
Is it conemos?
Mm-hmm. Conocemos. There it is. Conocemos. Conocemos. Good. All right. So we know, again, we're familiar with the place. That's where it's coming from, right here, place. All right. Do you know where North Central is located? Do you know where North Central is located? I would say the key word here is where it's located.
Would that be conoces?
Let's see. It would not be conoces because here's the thing. I'm not asking you, are you familiar with North Central? I want to know a fact. Do you know where it is? So what's it going to be instead, Carter?
Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Would it be Sabes?
It would be Sabes.
Okay, I was looking at the wrong one.
No worries, no worries. Okay, so Sabes, again, as soon as you see a question word, it's probably leading you to a fact, which is Saber. So do you know where North Central is? Yes, I know it is at 86th Street, right? So that is a fact. All right, last one. I know my friends. I know my friends. Sandra, what do you think?
Which one?
Last one. Yo blank a mis amigos. I know my friends.
Conozco.
Conozco. All right. So I know my friends. I am familiar with my friends. My friends are people. They all lead us to conocer. And you see that little ah. Remember, if it has a little ah, that's a little hint too that it's going to be conocer. All right. So again, make sure you got those notes because again, tomorrow you're going to have a little practice on saber and conocer. It seems like we're remembering the difference, or if you didn't get it last year, you are kind of recognizing the difference now. I think most of those sounded pretty good. All right, I am going to stop sharing unless anyone tells me they desperately need me to leave this up for a second. Anyone? Anyone? Again, I will put this under class resources right now, right after class, so it'll be there waiting for you if you need to go back and reference it. Okay, so again, let me remind you, I will not be here tomorrow for a live lesson, so you will just click on the current lesson, and it'll give you 3 things to practice tomorrow. Please make sure you do your work. It's all to prepare you for your midterm on Wednesday. There's a Quizlet, which is vocab. There's some study Spanish on comparisons, and then there's 1 textbook activity on saber and conocer. So please make sure you do those 3 things so you get in your practice, you get your points. You didn't do your textbook practice from last night. You can still do that. I haven't looked at it yet. And otherwise, that's it. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in person on Monday, but don't forget to come and do your practice tomorrow. Okay? All right. Hasta lunes. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thank you.